Hashtag the Fandom Menace was right. What were they right about? A broken clock is right twice a day. I mean, anyone could throw out enough predictions and then say they're correct. I want to know specifically what the Fandom Menace was right about.
Firewater.
Yes, sir.
We're live. What are you doing?
Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. We are live. How is everyone doing? We're doing it live like Bill O'Reilly. Let's go. Let's do it. All right. What was the Fandom Menace right about? Please tell me.
Yeah, I want to know that myself.
And why did people in the Fandom Menace pay money to be angry?
I didn't. I stayed at home to be angry.
Yeah, exactly. You stayed at home to be angry for free. Like I don't understand. What is up, Michael S? Hello.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. You weren't supposed to hear that part. That was behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
It's bad, out there now.
It's hot.
Oh,
you came in hot.
It's live.
We're doing it live. F it. Oh man, did his career take a tank too, Bill O'Reilly? Good Lord. Anyways, yeah, I just want to, I think it's a great conversation to have with the chat here, or even, I don't know if you bring people on, whatever you want to do, but I just want to know. I mean, I see that a lot. The hashtag, the Fandom Menace was right. Like, right about what?
He's asking for.
That's a legitimate question. Yeah, that's a.
Irish is saying hi. Geeky Candy is here. I bring the Fandom Menace ladies.
That's fine.
Only the ladies. I keep the haters, the mega haters, away from me. But I bring the ladies.
I don't think some of the haters want to talk to me. They're not thrilled with me.
Oh, yeah. I heard. You bring the heat on Twitter.
I do bring the heat on Twitter, and I have very pithy dialogue. Pithy is such a fun word. I don't get to use it very often. It's a fun word. I have fun.
All right, so Second Street's in the chat.
Second Street, hello.
We were streaming on Lungas, and then his channel. I'm going streaming crazy this Sunday.
You should.
CJH, hello there, CJH, the ambassador. This is just going to be a 30-minute stream. We're just talking about the rise of the box office, the rise of Skywalker, and how it's passing $1 billion, and then the differences of opinions, or the difference of spin on access versus access to clicks.
Wait, but I have a question too. If somebody has sources, aren't they access?
Yeah, they could be. Yeah,
right. Is that no? I mean, I know I'm kind of being cute with my words here a little bit. But my question is what separates access? I mean, they get invited to premieres and stuff. That's fair. And then the non-access, you get nothing. I understand that. But if one has sources, and assuming they're legitimate, let's just pretend that they are for a second, doesn't that make them access too, or at least half access, or maybe JV access? They didn't make the bar. Half-ass access.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, right. So I mean, then at the end of the day, it's just
the same thing, just different sides.
Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting. Let me give you a like there.
You're getting a nickname. The ambassador calls you "Hey Firestarter."
Firestarter. You know what? Yo, can we get some Prodigy going?
Oh,
yeah, Prodigy, man. I used to nod my head to that back in the day.
Yeah, I still do.
I think the gentleman passed away, the lead singer.
Oh, yeah, he did this year.
Rip, dude, rip. Press F in the chat to pay respects.
Boy, you can't release that song nowadays. Smack my up.
Yeah, no.
Boy, whoa, that was a different time. That would.
You can't roll like that.
You would have been. You come out with that video now, you're canceled right away.
Yeah, you're done, Steve. And such is life. I'd like to think that maybe that's probably actually for the better. But Geeky Candy one time's on the board. Best music video ever. Yo, we should keep a scoreboard of people that like they come out with a good comment and you just give them a check. Is there an app to do that, like a plugin? I mean, to write it down would be kind of but. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you got to come up with the technology. You got a good thing going there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Oh, Geeky Candy says she'd chat with you. Firestarter.
Firestarter. The twisted Firestarter.
Yeah.
And then I don't know the rest of the lyrics, so I'm.
Not me either. Yes, I do have. I have more than that going.
Yes. Yeah, you got. Yeah, like I said, you got a chin reveal. A chin reveal.
Are you good? Yeah, I'm good.
All right, You're good.
I'm not worried about it. I like to tease people. That's all you're getting.
Yeah.
So it's going to pass 1 million or 1 billion worldwide. So what does that actually mean? Not much. It's made
profitable.
its money. Yeah, it's profitable.
Not a flop.
No, it's not. It's not a flop. It's not a, and it will contribute to the highest grossing trilogy of all time, I believe. I'm trying to look that up. And I think they all knew that was going to happen. It did benefit too from them saying Star Wars slow down and there's not a lot of news and people are like, I want to see Star Wars. This is my last chance for a while. So it benefited from that too.
Yeah, I think that's a rational point. And you know what the true travesty is, in my opinion, is that JJ did throw. I know you didn't see the movie. You're probably not going to see the movie, and I respect that. I honestly respect that more than people that spent money to be angry for some reason. I just think that's.
Well, I say just vote for your wallet if you're for it or against it. If you're happy with it, go vote. Go vote with your wallet. That's
absolutely.
That's across the board. That's the way to show you're not just a fanboy and you want quality.
Right, I agree, and I respect that, and I really do. Like, you have to, as an individual, all you can really do is withhold your business, right? I mean, that's it. Like, what else can you do? I mean,
nothing else means
unless
anything.
you want to buy, some Disney stock and speak at a shareholder meeting. That's the only other option I could think of. We have actually Disney stock in our portfolio. I was going to say that was a great investment. I love Disney stock. Does it make money? Does it make money? It went down a little bit today. I'll have to jump in. Anyways, that's not important. But no, Walt Disney, if you look at its 5-year growth, it went from 100 to 144 from starting in January of 2015 to January. That's a heck of a stock. And they had a couple of dips, but then it came back. Like, this stock is roaring, man. So if any of the Star Wars properties at the bare minimum where it didn't hurt it, or if it did hurt it, then everything else is just kind of, being maximized. But they killed it in the box office this year. I killed it, dude. I mean, I think, what do they have? 4 of the top 5 highest grossing films, and Captain Marvel's not in it.
Oh yeah,
is that correct? I might be wrong on that. You might want to check my math on that.
I heard. I saw some. I didn't click on the thumbnails or the videos. I saw some people already complaining about the writer of Captain Marvel 2. I'm like, do you really care? Can't they have?
You're complaining about a product that you're not going to see.
That's years away. No one cares right now. I've seen videos.
I don't understand. But I mean, that's what generates views and clicks, right? Well, could you believe this militant? Well, then I guess I mean, to throw it back at them, I guess she has the wrong opinions.
Yeah.
I mean, they like to throw that around. That's fine.
I'm sending Geeky Candy a link because she's pretty cool. I don't know if she wants to come in or if she just showed up a little bit and then she's gone. I'm not sure.
She did say she would come in, but it's if she wants to, great. If she doesn't want to, that's okay too.
Matt Jarbo's here. Have you talked to Matt yet?
I have not spoken to Matt before. I am familiar with him.
I'll send him one too, just in case. He sometimes comes in when he's doing other stuff.
All right.
So I'll send it to him too. No pressure. That's the way I like to have my stuff. No pressure. Yeah. I'm just sending an invite.
Just get into stream, or you might get an unpleasant knock on your door. That's all. It's not a big deal. I don't want to make a big deal out of it.
And then from now on, I make the decision if I feel someone else is coming in and it'd be uncomfortable for someone that's already on the stream, and I'll just remove them.
There you go.
That's the way
I like that. I like that you're taking charge, and I like how you've been handling the trolls a little bit better, spending less time. Just eliminate them. Ban first and ask questions later if they're really getting under your skin. Because they want to take up as much of your time as possible. That's the objective.
Well, I don't like to censor people, but it's obvious if what you're doing is just to prove a point. Like, he's going to block me, and it actually hinders conversation instead of helping it.
No, I agree. I mean, you're kind of running a stream here, and you're trying to put on a show, and I get it. There's going to be hecklers from time to time. And I'm not saying censor people for the sake of censoring them because you didn't like what they said, but if it's obvious trolling, then just bounce them. Move on. Give them the least amount of attention possible, and then they'll move on and go troll somebody else.
Daddy, we don't need to hear about it. TMI. He says he can't make it. He's busy.
Yeah,
He's busy.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, Second Street does know all about he's gone straight to clickbait after he got monetized.
I don't know, man. I get people trying to make YouTube as a career. I honestly think that, and I'm probably in the minority, but they're an abusive business partner. They can change the term, they can alter the deal, and you pray they don't alter it again, right? You know, that they can do that at any time, because what else are you going to do? Any competitor to YouTube is going to have to be advertisement based, or they're going to have to charge their audience, and their audience isn't going to want to pay. And that's the reality, right? Overall.
Firestarter Matt is in the backstage. I'm going to bring him on.
Sure. Firestarter. That's my new name. I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
You know what? I'm going to change it on Twitter. Let's do it.
Firestarter.
At Firestarted.
Hey, Matt, we're talking about the differences of the spin with access and then access the clicks or access the hate clicks about the box office of The Rise of Skywalker. It's about to pass $1 billion, right?
Yeah, it's going to get pretty close to that here pretty soon, I think.
So what does it actually mean? It doesn't actually mean much on either side, actually. But I was looking at thumbnails in this last week, and I looked at Campea where they're like throwing money with talking about Rise of Skywalker box office, and then I think I saw a John Talks thumbnail where it's in flames, and that I just used it because it just it proves we're not getting much better on this side with the new trending is access the clicks and saying everything's garbage and a dumpster fire. And now, to be fair, I'm not going to mention his name, but a video on Geeks and Gamers today had Kathy's head on a dumpster fire in flames. And that's a very, very much of an exaggeration. I don't think Star Wars is in flames right now. I think most people have moved on. It's just the bubble of the YouTube fandom and communities that are still focusing on it. But it did not, it's still a success.
Yeah, anything that crosses $1 billion is a success. I don't think there's any way to counter that argument. Now the question then becomes, how much of a success is it, right? And that's the scale here. Obviously, Rise of Skywalker underperformed in regards to the previous films, and that's unfortunate. But that's also like, okay, that goes to show you where certain people are with it. They're still willing to support it, but maybe just not as much as they were previously. And I mean, like, my take on it, like, I said it was going to clear like $2 billion. You know, I was adamant. I'm like, it's going to do $2 billion, I swear. And then I'm like, okay, let me scale that back a bit to like 1.5. And then now I'm like, all right, just beat the last fucking Jedi. That's all I care about. You know, it happens. I'm not worried about it. Like I've seen the movie 3 times. I can say though, for all 3 times I've seen it, I didn't actually pay at all any of the 3 times I saw it. I saw it for free all 3 times. So I didn't add any to the box office in that regard. But
well, I didn't either.
I kept getting tickets. So
it's not my fault. Hashtag it's not the madman's fault.
No. Like, you know, the movie did well. It's December. Like even Jumanji is down, by the way, right? Like Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle opened the week after The Last Jedi. It did 962 million worldwide, which a lot of that was people saying that it was taking money away from The Last Jedi because of bad word of mouth. And then this time it opened a week before Star Wars, and it's only doing, I think, 672 million worldwide as of today. So it's far behind. It's the next movie, the previous film. And that is just, I mean, like Hollywood is like that. If you look at Marvel and Marvel's success, Marvel likes to slingshot its films. Puts out one like a quarter, right? So you're never really without a Marvel movie. And they've been ramping it up with Endgame for years. So it's like that was why it was going to do as big as it did. Star Wars, I would have loved to have seen it do 1.5, but I get why. And I'm not like looking at it as a failure, but it is time for a reboot, or a reset.
All right. Well, I have a viewer here that's been wanting to stream. I'm gonna give him a shot, but I'm saying behave, or because he's not he gives a valid critiques, so I think we'll be safe. I'm just letting you know, Wandering Jedi. I'll bring you up for a few minutes just to see how it goes.
And what sucks is I do think that The Rise of Skywalker is a better movie than The Last Jedi. And unfortunately, that does not appear to be validated in the box office, which to me, I think movies should be, based on their merit. And the free market has decided. But that's a shame because JJ probably should have done all three. And if actually a better scenario would have been George Lucas should have finished his own work, in my opinion. Because,
I agree.
Yeah. So I sent Wandering Jedi a link, but we're talking about Star Wars and stuff. I want to keep it on topic, so I'll give you a shot, brother.
What's that? What was that from Sabrina the Teenage Witch? I'm hot, you're not, but if you want to hang with me, I'll give you one shot. Top that. It's one of my favorite lines out of the movie.
That's a good line.
That's a good line, man. They're dancing around a car just by themselves, and then it's hysterical, dude. Nobody does that nowadays.
All right, let's see. Let's give Wandering Jedi a chance. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel or not. Hold on. Hello, Wandering Jedi. Are you there?
Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. So we're just having a friendly discussion here with my friends, the Firestarter on Twitter, and Matt Jarbo.
It's Firewater Effects on Twitter, but that's all right.
You could have a second account called Firestarter, and then you could go real hot. You could go real hot. And Matt Jarbo.
Wondering Jedi that you see right here, this is my YouTube channel, but it's just a streaming one. I never done any videos on mine. That's why a lot of you never heard of me, because I never done any videos, but I've been streaming everyone's videos. Yes, Darth Daddy Lunga, I've been streaming you too.
Okay.
Even the Fandom Menace, Jeremy's, his Geeks Gamers, World Class Bullshitters, Anna's,
Okay.
So I've been a YouTuber since 2006, so, I just love what I see.
I apologize. So you pretty much follow a lot of people in the community here, so that's great. You wanted to get your shot to just talk about it. So what's your opinion on the box office? Is this a failure, or is it a positive, or is it just not? What's your take on it? It's going to pass $1 billion. It's going to pass $1 billion the next day or two.
Well, yeah, but I was really hoping it wouldn't. I was really hoping it would be a big slap in the face against Kathleen Kennedy.
Okay.
And I know JC tried to save it. I did see episode 9 again. I saw it twice.
Okay.
My folks wanted to see it, so that's why they brought me along. And we have some parts in there we enjoy from it, but the rest of it, I hated what they did with Palpatine. I love Palpatine's whole thing from 1 through 6. He was a great villain. I loved his arc as a character and how he built himself up, and they treated him like trash in this one. I'm like, he didn't deserve that. But I like how they tried to throw in some stuff that had to do with ancient Sith lore with him.
Okay.
And the Force Shilling, which was a Jedi ability. Yes, it's real. If some of you guys actually...
I used to use that in Jedi power battles on the PlayStation with Qui-Gon Jinn.
The Old Republic, so Force Healing is a thing. Even in Dark Forces 2, it was a known ability, but not a lot of Jedi, which I'm surprised in the movies knew about that, but I'm pretty sure Yoda did. So, and the movie did state, she got more power, but she got Palpatine's powers. So somehow the Force Healing came from him. Maybe some people can innate some abilities. Like, maybe some Jedis are gifted, or some Force users are gifted with some things than the others are. That was my take on the movies. Not to prove she's not a Mary Sue. Yeah, she is. I don't like how they treated her either. I like Rey, but she deserved a better writing and everything than that. The way the writers treated her, it was absolute shit.
I think if I had to speculate, actually, I'm gonna continue to talk about Star Wars. I had a comment for Geeky Candy. She was talking about numbers. Well, I have this CNBC article from 2018 that says headline is Disney bought Lucasfilm 6 years ago today and has already recouped its $1.4 billion investment. So basically said with movie sales, merch, video games, licensing, they have more than paid for their investment. Now, granted, they lost money on Solo, But at the end of the day, that's a tax write-off. It's not going to hurt the stock price at all, and actually, it really hasn't.
He's a Disney stockholder.
Yeah, I am a Disney stockholder. That is my jam, dude. I don't own a lot, but I mean,
so is my grandfather. He's in the stock. He's a stockholder for Disney somewhere, but
I mean, it's. No, I said they spent $4 billion. I'm sorry, they recouped the $4 billion. My apologies. If I misspoke there, but they recouped that and then some, and then they own the property forever. So the next 100 years or so, more Star Wars movies. And plus, you got to watch when you're using those numbers, Geeky, because there's no real timetable to get a return on investment. Because your hot takes will be like, well, you didn't make it back in 3 years. Like, you know, it often takes times when you buy a studio or you buy an intellectual property. It takes time to make money, you know, and they made their money back really quick. You know, so I mean, at the end of the day, that's fine. But this is CNBC. I don't see why they would lie. It's a reputable news network. I watch CNBC regularly. They have, of course, I'm sure they've made mistakes before, but they are a regular. You know, they're reputable, and so and so what it comes down to, in my opinion, it's. You gotta yay, what's up? You gotta, in my opinion, I just feel like, you know, the numbers, you gotta encapsulate all the numbers. And do they account for the cost of They mentioned the cost of it. Sure.
Well, Matt, I'd love to hear your take. They're on the they're
well, Matt, what do you think? Do you think that that Lucas or I'm sorry, Disney made their money back on Lucasfilm?
I mean, it's been, I mean, look, everything's an investment, right?
Yeah, sure.
So you figure $4 billion for the property, and then they invested how much money into The Force Awakens and getting it off the ground. I mean, theatrically speaking, they've made their money back, but then we're not even taking into account home video sales or merch or toys or things like that. And I know people out there like to argue that the toys aren't selling, but that's like one part of it.
Forbes had said even when there wasn't any major movies coming out that Lucasfilm was doing $1 billion in merch sales, and actually in this article, I think they said $6 billion.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, there's so many places I go where, and I live in Olympia, Washington. It's the state capital. It's like 40,000 people here, right? And I see people wearing Star Wars merch every day. You know, people with Star Wars decals on their car. I saw a woman the other day with a full-on sleeve tattoo of Return of the Jedi. You know, and she was like, "Hi."
Just look at Baby Yoda is going to make the big bank. They can milk that for a long time.
Actually, I'm sorry. I read that in a different article. It did not say, this article did not mention $6 billion in merch sales. But I did see another Forbes article that suggested that even Lucasfilm, when it wasn't actively making film, was making $1 billion a year in merch and licensing and all that.
I actually have a background in covering toys, and the toy industry in general has gone downhill, not just Star Wars.
Yeah.
Although the Star Wars, the merch, the toys, yes, they were not selling well because the new characters were not exciting. And who wants to buy geriatric Jedi?
Geriatric Jedi.
I mean, but that's probably part of the point where they're like, we need to finalize these characters' arcs so we don't have to use them again. Because would you rather buy a young, bulky Luke Skywalker or the old guy? You know, I mean, that does factor into it. It does.
Well, that was the argument I made a while back when they announced that Resistance was going to end after season 2. And because I'm like, you know, they did the Star Wars Resistance, which I actually think is a really fun show. Mm-hmm. And it takes place before The Force Awakens, and the season 1 ends after The Force Awakens, and then season 2 is after The Last Jedi. And I'm like, but once the First Order is destroyed, what do they have? The whole point of the show is that it's like resistance against the First Order. So the problem with Disney is that they don't know how to market and sell the First Order. It's not as there's not as enough. You know, there's decades with the Empire. There's 2 decades with the Empire, so there's a lot of wiggle room for stories. But there's like a couple years with the First Order. It was a big miscalculation for trying to establish a new villain, and that's you know, I mean, look at Galaxy's Edge. You know, I mean, like I have a feeling the Rise of the Resistance ride is gonna fizzle out pretty quick because now the Resistance is won. Rise of Skywalker's already out. There's no point. Like, it doesn't keep going. You know.
I don't know about that. I mean, I think people will enjoy the experience. From what I heard, unfortunately, it's been breaking down in Disney World. From what I heard, that's disappointing. But at the end of the day, like to say that ultimately, I think the argument is that Lucasfilm is a liability to Disney, and I don't see that at all.
No, I don't see that at all. I think that's such a weird argument to make, because when people talk about they talk about the sale of Lucasfilm. It's always like one facet. It's always Star Wars. That's it, right? And they never stop, and they never look at the broader picture. Bob Iger didn't spend $4 billion for Star Wars. He spent $4 billion for Star Wars and Indiana Jones and ILM and Skywalker Sound. And since ILM and Skywalker Sound are the two top, you have the audio and sound and visual, right? So all of that works into their budget, and they can then go to the guys at ILM and have them work on their own properties, and the money just stays inside. So it's like, and also they can then license all that out. They can also, other studios can go to ILM and spend their budget on visual effects.
Yeah, it's like people. I'm more familiar with gaming in that. It's like the Unreal Engine gets licensed all the time by Epic Games. They make Fortnite, right? So a majority of shooters I have played, and I pretty much specialize in first-person shooters, minus playing a little League, is games are on Unreal Engine. This game was made on the Unreal Engine. So I'm assuming ILM, because they're the best in the business, at least from what I could see, is they must be, like you said, they're in the background working on their technology's getting licensed out, and Lucas at the time was just printing money with it. Now Disney is, and it's brilliant.
And that's the whole thing. So there's the other side of the business, which is what a lot of people tend to overlook. And I'm not going to sit there and say they're nefarious for overlooking it. I also think a lot of people just don't know.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. Like, you think industrial, you're a VFX animation studio. You think you're just going to work on, whoever you work for. But apparently, wow, there's ILM London, Singapore, Vancouver, San Francisco, and Sydney. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Industrial Light and Magic is legit, man. I'm looking at their website right now. They do facial capture, virtual production. Oh my god, I can only imagine what their fees are.
Well, visual just think effects. Look at the technology that's being used in The Mandalorian.
Oh my god, I'm looking at their credits right now. Rise of Skywalker, Six Underground, Mandalorian, Playing with John Cena, The Irishman, Terminator, Battle at Big Rock. Don't know what that is. Far From Home, Aladdin, Endgame. Oh, okay. Aquaman, over A Quiet Place. Get out of here. Wow.
The other one
I wouldn't have seen that. Okay.
The other one that was doing pretty good that for a while there was Peter Jackson had a studio set up too, but Weta. But they're going mainly. It's still Industrial Light and Magic works on about basically everything, and they're the go-to people for Marvel's films too. I mean, Marvel uses the people across the world because they want their stuff on a timeline. So they have different special effects all over the place, but still.
I mean, look at Red Dead Redemption 2, right? It's a Rockstar's production. It's a Rockstar North game, but they used 10 different studios to make that game what it is. So it's like, those are all studios that Rockstar owned or Take-Two owned or whatever. So it's like, yeah.
Oh wow, ILM did Vader Immortal.
Oh really?
Okay. You know what it is? The one of the things I wish Lucasfilm did not do or Disney do was get rid of LucasArts. Yeah. I think they should have made their games in-house.
Well, they're doing the smart thing. They don't want the risk with developing their own, like Disney.
I agree. Licensing, they print money, man. They print money with that.
When you do it yourself, you have the risk. Like Disney Infinity, they made the decision. Oh no, we're going back to licensing our titles.
Yeah, I was just such a big fan of LucasArts. They kicked out so many, and not only that, when they kicked out games, how like Lucas revolutionized the film industry. Their games would revolutionize shooters and things like that. The original Battlefront, you could have a space battle and PAX the land battle and vice versa. Mm-hmm. And I remember TIE Fighter and X-Wing when they came out, they were like revolutionary, like arcade flight sims. The graphics, the way you could shift your shields around and all that stuff was very cool. And they had some duds too, like Rebel Assault on Sega CD. That was pretty bad. I'm a sucker
Well,
for.
For me, it's the Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis and Escape from Monkey Island using the Scum engine.
I liked Full Throttle.
That was good.
That was good. And Sam and Max hit the road. That shit was funny, man.
Well, I think that's something that all sides of this fandom can agree on, that even if you like what Disney's doing, they're not pushing the boundaries like with George and Lucasfilm and LucasArts. They were pushing it forward. And that's why I talked about Avatar 2. Like, don't count James Cameron out. And he's one of the last creators of a franchise that's still at the head of it. I mean, it's Disney owns it now too, so we have to see what happens. But I hope it succeeds.
Disney doesn't own Avatar. James Cameron owns Avatar.
Well, but with Fox properties, or I don't know how.
Fox only was the distributor. James Cameron, trust me, he owns the property.
Okay.
Yeah, like Cameron after Terminator, and Cameron lost Terminator, he ain't giving up nothing.
Right.
Right. He ain't giving up shit.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, unfortunately, Terminator just died a tragic death. Yeah, I used to love him when I was a kid, and then I don't know. I didn't really. I just felt like after 2, I was like, nah, I'm good.
Will they try to do something else again? I don't know. They should go back to the TV series.
Probably not. I mean, I'm like one of the few who enjoyed Dark Fate, but after that $100 million bomb, it's like, nah, they ain't. Nah.
Well, someone just bought the rights to it along with Cameron to do that's why you get all these reboots.
Maybe he had it bomb on purpose so he could buy it short. He shorted his own property.
I haven't seen the Terminator movie yet. I'm waiting for it to hit Redbox. So I've been staying away from the spoilers.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of 2 and 1. I started that when I was a kid. I liked some of the others that I liked Matt Smith's role in Genesis because I liked how he played the villain. I didn't expect how that happened, but that's why I like that film and Arnie. So,
it's a worthy rental. It's not bad. It's just it's not.
I'll watch it so many times because it's just fun to watch the Terminators going, bashing each other in. The one thing I have a complaint about Genesis is why couldn't they get the original guy to play the T-1000? I know he grew up older, but they could have hired him to go right back in the movie. It wouldn't have mattered. They could have CGI'd him being younger again. Why'd they have to pick someone else? That part I don't understand. I mean, Patrick did a great job, and this new guy who did it, I'm trying to stay on topic here, sorry. The new guy did great too, but I don't know. There was something more to do with the T-1000 from the original guy. But honestly, I think to go back to Max's question, I don't know if I answered it. I apologize. I kind of watched a little bit. I don't think it deserves $2 billion. If it passes $1 billion, that surprises me. That's fine. But I don't think it deserves $2 billion at most. I think
it's not getting
tried, but it failed because of 8. 8 did not connect from 7, and that's why 9 fell apart.
And that was kind of like my point earlier, is that if JJ did all 3, whether it would have been good or bad or not, at least it would have been consistent.
It would have made much more sense if 9 was a part 1, part 2 movie. I was really hoping they were going to go with that idea because that right there would have given a lot more enough explanation to everything what's going on. Even if they wanted to throw a Palpatine still in the background, there will be some explanation why. But I hope that if this was being redone or different alternate universe, I wouldn't want Palpatine back. I love Snoke, man. Snoke was a big bad. He was badass. But
Andy Serkis underutilized to me. I love Andy Serkis.
I also think Maz Kanata was underutilized. I loved her in The Force Awakens.
Oh, was she in this one?
Yeah, I think at
Barely. She's in it multiple times. She's in it multiple times in the movie.
Yeah. She shows up in The Last Jedi. She had a little cameo. I thought
The Last Jedi one was lame. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I like Maz Kanata as a character. I thought she was great.
Yeah, in The Force Awakens. Yeah,
she was good, man. It's just a shame that JJ they didn't sign JJ to do all 3, and or if not him, he says he can't do it, then get somebody else. But at the end of the day, there is a little bit of this narrative where they're saying, well, Lucasfilm, they already made their money back on that. I'm sorry, there's no other way to slice that.
Well, Matt, I want to
at the
hear
end of the day,
Matt's opinion on because when Jedi Wanderer came in, he was not too much of a fan of Palpatine, and that's one of the reasons. That's besides my wanting to boycott it for various reasons. That's the other thing I was worried about, is not being happy with Palpatine in this movie, because he's had such great performances in the other movies. So did the bringing him back? Were you happy with the results, Jarbo and Firewater?
I was, yeah, I was. Okay. I wanted more of him. I wanted a lot more of him, because I think Ian McDermott is great in the role. And the thing is, though, it's like JJ kind of like set the stage in an interview before the movie came out, where he was like, my favorite scene out of the prequels is the Darth Plagueis scene from Revenge of the Sith. So it's like, oh, okay. So at that point, he's just telling you, this is what's going to happen. Like, go back and watch that scene, and that will basically tell you everything you need to know about how he came back, so to speak. Like the overview, not the specific, which is what I and other people would like to know, but giving you like at least enough of an idea to work with, to keep enough of it in mystery to still be interesting. And that's part of the mystery box JJ likes to create, but I think in this case, it worked. Again, I just would like to have seen more of him.
Here's Michael S. My favorite character is Palpatine. I personally loved him in this film, but we could have used more of him, and that's why we have Revenge of the Sith.
I think that's fair criticism. I think that I liked Palpatine in this. They kind of explained Snoke without explaining him, which I thought was, given the time frame that they had, I thought was adequate. But with that, I could see why people would be like, come on, man, you got to do better than that. And I could see that. They had some FUs to Ryan Johnson in the movie, which I thought was kind of funny. JJ, like I said, he did the best with what he could. And people are saying Iger wants to move on. Of course he wants to move on. This has not been run as optimally as it could have, and I will admit that. But to say that it hasn't been profitable, or we're not sure because of, like, they're making money on this. There's no way to dispute that. There's just way too much merch. There's even if it's just classic merch, let's say it's not new merch, people are buying shirts all the time, even with just classic stuff on it.
Just to even have the end of the saga and sell those big Blu-ray sets.
Yeah.
And say, you got the whole saga now. It helps they're going to make money, which I don't know why people buy. I still buy physical, but there's less and less reasons to.
I do digital only. I just don't have the room for like a Blu-ray player. It's not practical in my house anymore. And it's just cheaper to buy an Amazon stick and then just put your whole collection on there. In my opinion. And so what it comes down to, it's just like, we'll get back to the original point. What was the Fandom Menace right about? That's what I would like to know.
I can try to answer some of that.
All right, go ahead.
Please do.
Now, if anyone remembers some of the videos that Doomcock was doing when he was reading off some of those things on his videos that he was only taking as rumor. Now, before anyone spoiled the movie of 9, someone from Sweden, somehow they gave them the details. That's how some of the things the Fandom was right on. Just some of the things, but also...
But aren't they just parroting information? Like, because Doomcock didn't do the leaks. Jedi Paxis did. Is that correct?
I don't know who posted the leaks.
Right, so they just kind of co-opted the leaks and said we were right.
He's just the biggest pinhead on YouTube that gets the most.
He was reading off his rumors, though.
No, I know. I mean, but that's why they take credit for it. He's just the biggest.
He signal boosted it, no doubt.
Right.
But and he has a big audience. Absolutely, he does. But that's not really Fandom Menace, though. That's just people leaking the movie out. And yeah, the leaks were accurate. They were reasonably accurate. I think
there were other guesses coming in too. I don't remember much anymore. I'm sorry. I've done a lot of streaming since October to December before this movie came out, but I don't remember most of it anymore.
No problem.
I don't know. You know, the saga's done. Like I don't blame
yeah.
you. It's done. It's over with. And
After
whether
it came
people
out,
like it or they don't.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm looking onto other things like He-Man going on Netflix. I'm watching this Carmen Sandiego season 2 on Netflix. I'm enjoying that, by the way. Other fun shows.
No, I hear you.
Well,
You're looking to move.
Go ahead, Charles. Go ahead, Matt.
Okay, so just to go back to a point that Jedi had made, the leak from Sweden was actually their ratings board classification, which came out more closer to the film's release, which talked about basically Palpatine, and that was one of the things that confirmed the plot leak that came out of Reddit. So Doomcock had nothing to do with any of that outside of signal boosting it. That's just like that. That's the only thing that I think Doomcock broke was the test screenings, and that was proven to be not true. So there's that. Other than that, it's all Reddit.
Sources.
Yeah,
I think it was a jab at Access claiming they have sources that we have sources too. I think.
Yeah, but the thing, not all sources are created equal, and I think
Yeah.
that's something Jeremy struggles to understand personally. Because when you have people that are journalists and they broke legitimate stories and they could show you on notes, I mean, I would love to vet all of these anonymous sources. I will guarantee anonymity. I have about 100 questions I could ask them to validate whether they're full of shit or not.
Well, me personally, if you actually think I might be in the minority across the board on all sides of this fandom. I think if you legitimately think that you're leaking actual plot points, that you're hurting the industry, and I don't like any leakers or reporting on it. I
agree, but it generates clicks though.
Right, but I'm in the minority across the board on YouTubers there because lots of YouTubers on each side of this debate do report on leaks. I do fake spoilers and stuff, but it hurts the industry, and if you ever want to be in the industry, that kind of stuff hurts a production company.
I agree.
So I'm not for it at all. But
like I said, that's what I'm curious about. What the Fandom Menace is right about. Like and I'm not trying to be facetious or anything like that, but I see that hashtag a lot, and I got to be honest. Some of the members of the Fandom Menace that I've conversed with don't really seem to go deeper than talking points, because when you poke holes in those, I've been called a fake fan because I called Star Wars an entertainment product, which that's it literally is. That's a new one. I've been called that I'm just trolling. I've been called, but I'm trying to have these discussions. Now, granted, when I get salt thrown at me, I'll throw salt, pepper, garlic, parsley. I'll throw spices right back, and I like to think I'm reasonably good at it. And maybe that gets me in trouble once in a while.
Yeah, you fire starter.
Yeah, well, yeah, I changed it on I changed it on Twitter, man. I'm at Firewater Effects, but I'm Firewater.
But I have you on because I think you actually generally talk it out too. You get past.
Yeah, I am more than happy to have a conversation. If I'm wrong about something, there's no ego about this. I'll admit that I'm wrong, but I need to see overwhelming evidence to refute my claims. When I make a claim, I try to thoroughly research it as best as humanly possible. I don't have a channel. I'm not looking to drive clicks.
I told him behind the scenes he should. I said,
I mean, I don't know if I got the time, and I don't want to disappoint anyone.
You're just here for the conversation.
I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know.
I thought you get along pretty good with Matt talking out the details, and I wanted to give Jedi Wanderer a chance because he has asked me quite a few times to be on the stream, and I'm like, okay. Right,
but I mean, at the end of the day, it was Reddit and Jedi Paxes. Those leaks. I mean, whoever source that they have, and I guess making Star Wars, I believe Lungus said that. That's fair. I mean, yeah, they knew, and as soon as they get something, they release it. And I understand what you're saying, Max. But I think the challenge is like, okay, so now that 9 is done, where do we go with the Fandom Menace? What? I guess maybe Jedi Wanderer. Maybe you could help me with that. What's going to be the group's purpose now? Did I bore you to tears? My apologies.
That's a hard question. I don't know if he's a fan of channels in there. I don't know if he really identifies what he identifies as. Jedi Water, are you still there?
I think I bored him out. My
Oh,
bad.
I'm sorry.
I'm not super fired up today. I worked pretty much all day today, so I'm a little drained. So I'm not like, "Rah!" You know, like I'm not going hard in the paint there. Joel Embiid, yo. But you know,
well, it could be technical difficulties too. Jedi Wander, if you want to come back in, come back in. You still have the link, but I'm gonna get minus you out for now, just because we're not getting a response from you.
Yeah.
But I still got love for you, and I'm happy you came on to have a conversation. So if you want to come back in, feel free. But because it's kind of dead air right now, I don't know what happened. All right.
At the Ambassador, sure, if I have time. Like late night's good for me. I work way too many hours. But it's no, but like, and I'm willing to have conversations with the Fandom Menace. Sometimes I do a little trolling on Twitter, and then again, I could see why maybe people would see me as hostile. That's reasonable. But I also back up my points, and I think a lot of people don't like that. I'm also blocked by a lot of people in the Fandom Menace because I don't think they like when I kind of shred their arguments a little bit. And so people like, wait, my normal, because I don't believe this about the Fandom Menace as a group. I don't believe that they're racist and sexist. I'm sure there are racists and sexists in the group, but they don't make up the majority. Now, a lot of them, I believe, kind of are man babies, because I don't think all three need to be lumped together in one. And Geeky Candy's watching Grumpy Old Men. I love that movie.
I'm okay with that.
Cold. Here's some matches. Set yourself on fire.
Isn't that what YouTube has become? There's a lot of grumpy old men on here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some in a pool house too, Geeky.
Oh, shots fired. Now, does he have a regular house, or is the pool house just the studio?
Yeah, I was subscribed to him before he moved into the pool house.
Wait, you mean he moved into the pool? Like,
I mean, for his videos.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm not saying behind the scenes that she kicked him to the pool house. No.
Okay, all right. I didn't know because it kind of sounded like he was living in a.
It's not like there were so many. It's not like there were so many Brie videos that she's like, get to the pool house. No.
Yeah, you know what? Baby girl didn't get Chanel this month. She didn't get that channel going, yo. Your ass is going to the pool house. That's how that goes. No, I'm just kidding. But no. I'm sure he pays his rent/mortgage on time. I'm sure he's a responsible adult fiscally. Unlike some other adults in the Fandom Menace.
Oh my! You got to try to be more fair and balanced, Firestarter.
Yes, Firestarter.
You're starting some fires right now.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I thought you might like Firewater, Matt. He brings the heat.
He's an interesting guy. Yeah.
He should have a YouTube channel. I'm telling him.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. I don't know.
I mean, like a lot of it is, YouTube is pretty. You can easily do it. A lot of us just sit down and go, what have other people written about today? Okay. And that's it. That's most of our content.
You have the natural ability to get people talking, even if they're like, you suck, you're full of it. You'll get those comments for sure. You have a natural ability. You would do good on YouTube. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, I like to facilitate conversations, and I try to be reasonable. And if I'm being unreasonable, I sometimes need to be told that because I don't acknowledge that myself. Yeah. But I self-critique a lot. Like when I appeared on that stream with Jeremy, I must have watched that 30 times, just beating myself up. Like I wasn't even listening. I mean, I was listening to him, and I was listening how I responded. And I'm not going to say I gaffed, but I kind of had some. Like I didn't move the chains. I kind of ran out of bounds when I could have threw a bomb. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't. Oh, Geeky can't. You too much. But it's
Geeky
and
Candy.
I should have hit him on a couple of things, and I didn't. I'm like, God damn! Why didn't I thought about it a week later. Shit. Like but he did have one point. I'll tell you, he does that all the time. That was like my first stream I've appeared on in probably years. And I haven't. And he's got a point, man. I was a little nerve-wracking because I didn't know if I was gonna get Twitter Jeremy. I didn't know if I was gonna get stream Jeremy. I've watched some of his streams. He's actually pretty he's a charismatic guy. I will give him that.
I hold the record about anyone here on YouTube. I've faced him 3 times.
That's
maybe Matt. I don't know. Matt, I'm not sure.
I've done it a few times. I find it to be more funny than anything else, but that's just my personal opinion. Because it really does depend on which Jeremy you're going to get. right? So it's like Jeremy, like I said, he'll go hard, and then he then tries to like play the nice guy, like, oh, it's all just an act and whatever. Like that's his mentality, is to kind of like browbeat you and then try to be your friend. So
he's like a Sour Patch Kid. First he's sour, and then he's sweet.
Oh, Darth Barbie's in the chat. Everyone say hi, Darth Barbie.
Hello,
I bring
Darth Barbie.
I bring the Fandom Menace ladies.
There you go.
you do, Matt. Surprisingly, you do.
Yeah, I had to make a song. I made that whole song. It came to me because of Jeremy trying to trigger Beyonce fans, saying she's trash and garbage. I don't think so.
She's got a hell of a voice.
Yes,
she's a hell of an entertainer. My wife has seen her live, and she's
not just what he said.
Yeah.
No, okay. Darth Barbie is defending her friend. Jeremy's a nice guy. I'm happy for you, Darth Barbie.
And I have to say, my conversation with him was reasonable.
Yeah.
I just wish I hit him on a couple of more points. Like I said, I kind of got a few yards instead of throwing a bomb, but that's all right. But like I said, I'm learning. I'm trying to adjust. I'm trying to improve.
Christy's great. She's in the chat.
No, Christy's a sweetheart. Yeah.
I should have sent her. I don't know if she wants to be on. She helps out a lot.
She's a nice person.
I didn't know if you wanted to be on tonight because the last night was crazy.
Oh, we went crazy. Yeah. See, last night I had more energy. You know what? I have a box of 5 hour.
Look at this. I have problems with you now, Longa, too. You hate Beyonce. What are we getting? Another Jeremy on the Gray Order? I don't know. We got to rethink this Stark Daddy.
She did a dope cover of it was an Aerosmith tune. I can't remember. I think it was Dream On. And that was there was like a live rendition of it. It was very impressive. You may not agree with her politics. I can understand that, but she is nothing short of an amazing performer and entertainer.
Beyonce?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think she's overrated, but that's just me. That's my take.
Oh, another Jeremy.
Not saying she's talented, but it's like I've found her, and ever since she married Jay-Z, I just found her music to be like I just okay.
Maybe
I like earlier stuff. I like Jay-Z's earlier stuff, but I can't stand him now. It's not.
Well, Jay-Z, it's kind of hard to be a gangster when you're a near billionaire. That's. I wish I were a near billionaire. That'd be dope. But it's kind of say you're like hard in the streets there when you're like, yo, my agency represents. I have a sports talent agency. I represent Saquon Barkley as well as other major NFL, NBA, MLB talent. So to me, it's just. It's tough to beat him up for that.
Okay,
we have a Jedi Wanderer. Has he returned?
Yeah, we couldn't hear you at all. It was just nothing. Are you there, Jedi?
Yeah, sorry. I was away for the moment getting something to drink.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
No, we were talking.
I came back and I'm like, okay, he must have thrown me off. I guess
No. I don't want to kick you off or anything, but I was like, something must have happened on your end, so I didn't realize.
Oh, sorry about that.
No problem.
All right. Actually, what question did I? Oh, what else was the Fandom Menace right about, my guy?
Oh, let me see.
About the trilogy not having a plan.
The newest trade. There were some. Okay, now I'm remembering some things. Some people were leaked. The Fandom Menace. I don't think should claim anything about being right after all the leaks they were reading from Reddit. But some of them turned out to be true, like that dagger we finally got to see in the trailer. So that was one of the things, which I was hoping it wouldn't. I don't know if it confirmed what was Matt Smith's role in there, so that's still speculation. Even though I'm still pissed they didn't let him into the film.
Was that JJ just trolling everyone?
No, there was actually an official article some time ago earlier this year about Matt being added to the roster for episode 9, but they kept his role a secret. No one, even the guy from Lost, you saw him what he finally was in the film, but no one revealed him or Matt's role. And, then he wasn't on to the film, and I don't know. I didn't agree with that. I think I don't know.
I want to say I was right.
I don't know.
I think stories by Irish. Right. She jogged my memory. I appreciate that, sweetie. Thank you.
I don't remember.
No. The question was, what will the Fandom Menace move on to now, or will it more like disband? Because the saga's done. Whether you liked it or not, it's completed.
I don't think they will disband. There's a lot of other stuff they like to cover. There's a lot of other stuff based on comics, movies, DC, Marvel, whatever hits the audience's views,
Geeky Candy says she is
not going anywhere, I don't think.
Candace says she is not having it. It won't disband.
Even the Mandalorian is still going to continue with that. And then there's what was the other?
But what are you going to rally against? Because if you're going to fight the world, you'll just won't have any mainstream entertainment.
It's more about
if they keep. Sorry, Max.
I think it's just about the community they have. I don't really feel.
Yeah, but the rallying cry was overall just bashing the saga, which is fine. Yeah. But now the enemy is neutralized.
Now it's about Marvel.
It's done. Yeah, the enemy, whether you killed him or not, whether he dropped on its own sword or it just left or retreated or whatever.
It wasn't really about bashing against what they were doing in Star Wars. It was the political nonsense they were throwing into it. And they started a stream with other movies like they did with Terminator. They tried to do it. I know they tried to do it with Transformers. With the last.
Well, all right. So then, let me ask you a question. Did you see the movie Joker?
Yes, I saw that in theaters.
What'd you think?
When I walked in there, I had no idea what to expect.
Did you think you were going to get shot? No, I'm kidding. But
no,
because all the news reports, I was just teasing.
I didn't listen to the news. I thought that was ridiculous.
I agree with you.
The news. But I fell in love with it.
Great movie. Did you think it was a good movie?
I fell in love with it. I fell in love with what they did with it, and I'm so glad that actor got the damn award.
Excellent. Let me ask you a question. Did Joker have political messaging?
Yes. Sorry, it was his SJW movie.
I don't think so.
Absolutely, it did, sir. And I'll explain at the end. Spoiler alert.
Sorry, I couldn't help.
Please explain, because I didn't catch any.
There was a political message that basically when you're lower class and you have mental health issues, people will step over your dead body. You're not worth anything.
Funding, government cutting funding for that.
Government cutting funding because nobody cares.
Program.
And this is what happens when you've been beaten down, bruised, you get what you fucking deserve.
Well, and about mocking people
with mental health issues. Yeah, they're low resourced. They're low resourced. Mental health treatment is not cheap. And you either got to have insurance or be able to pay out of pocket, right? Which not everyone can do. And at the end of the day, that's political messaging. And it's like it gives you something to think about.
So here's my point too of how it can kind of counteract with the messages in dunking on SJWs. A lot of them say SJWs are mentally ill, so it's okay to dunk on them. And that this movie, The Joker, was saying your words have an effect on people, especially have issues. So what is dunking on SJWs constantly really doing?
But get super chats.
Well, it's making fun of people that you admit have mental illness. You say how many people on this YouTube game with the clickbait with the SJW screaming? These people are insane. These people have mental illness, so you're making fun of them.
Well, none of that. I'm going to address Trap 28 really quick. Okay, if the Joker was set in the 80s when mental health was stigma taboo, Star Wars is a highly fictional world, and people complain about politics in that. So you're kind of shifting the goalposts there. I'm going to be honest with you. The political message, and I think it's a good one. But when political messages validate us, we don't even notice that they're there. Yeah. But when they invalidate us, or we perceive that they do because we watch some angry YouTuber on, make 100 videos about it, then all of a sudden it's not cool. So I just wanted to point out that disparity.
George Lucas said that the rebellion in the original Star Wars was based on the Viet Cong. All right, those were our enemies. They killed 58,000 Americans, and they were the heroes of Star Wars. So, yeah, politics.
Well, it was always there, but to be fair, The Last Jedi jumped the shark with it, and it included it where it was a detriment to the story and the OG characters, where the other movies had it in it.
But Lunga said, it's not just bad writing. It's not necessarily political statements. It's bad writing.
Yeah.
I think that because when you say some people in the Fandom Menace have said that, there's diversity hires. Well, my question to them would be if a white person of the appropriate gender were to take that role, would that make the role better? And at the end of the day, I'm just wondering when you point out that there is some sort of, even in Hollywood, which is super, super left, but they made a good point about mental health. It's an important topic. Absolutely. It's a very important topic, but that messaging is okay. But stuff where maybe, all right, so the ambassador, but then that kind of, I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna say that, but we don't want politics in movies, but that one's okay. So then, how does one have a principle on that when it's when they say what I like, it's definitely all right, and but if anyone else has a message that maybe I disagree with, I'm gonna say F that. So, I mean, where do you draw the line? That's the $64,000 question.
I love that you brought this up, Firewater, because I've long said that the movements on YouTube here embrace the Joker so much. But it is one of the most messaging is really hardcore in there about mental illness and funding to mental illness.
And his own counselor said that, by the way, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. Next week, we're closing down. I need my medicine. What do I do? Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. Like, you know what I'm saying? She basically said you're effed. And she would be right. They pulled the funding. Yeah. Psychiatrists are expensive. Mental health counseling is expensive. It is not a cheap field to get services from. And so this poor guy is going to the community mental health clinic. Usually the therapists there are overworked. And if somebody drops out of treatment, they get somebody off a wait list right away. So it's like, all right, drop out or don't, whatever. But I agree with you that the acting was perfect.
Firestarter, I could have you on. You can make me some good money here on YouTube.
There you go.
I'm gonna. Here you go, Matt's having a hard time getting it. You're great. You're great at this.
I'm sorry, Matt.
No. He's got a natural knack. Here, take over my show, Firestarter.
Take over my show. You just leave. What is wrong with you? Yes, sir.
Fire. I got something that when you're asking me that, I did have a note to put in.
Okay, sure, please.
The thing with Gotham and why they added that in, because it fits with what Gotham is before Batman showed up. Even if you watch that show Gotham, where the mobs and all that were taking over the damn town, nobody was caring about the poor guys down there. I even agree with the political message there too, and what Joker was trying to say at the end. I mean, shit, it's like that in some of the cities in real life. Sadly.
No, I agree. Yeah, I mean,
but it was a good thing to put in because people
is a dystopia,
Well, yeah, but with Gotham, that's how it was always set in. You had the high elites, the rich that doesn't care or give a damn about some of the lower class or the poor people, and honestly, that's where some of the supervillains came from. I don't know if all of them did, but So I guess my main point is it fits it so well because they figured, well, shit, they gotten used to seeing Gotham that way for years, so let's just throw that in. And
but it's still. I understand your point, but it's still political messaging. It's and what I noticed at the end of the scene, he did not mention that those three guys were kicking the crap out of him. He just said, yeah, I killed him and it felt good. Whereas I'm wondering if maybe he would have gotten a little bit more sympathy from the audience if he said, yeah, I shot them. They were kicking me in the ribs. They almost knocked me unconscious. I was defending myself.
I don't know if he said that in the theater, though.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He didn't. No, I'm saying he didn't say that, and I'm surprised that he didn't. But maybe they kind of wanted to make him a little bit more menacing because when you hear on the talk show that it sounds like he killed them in cold blood. That's not the truth, though. He killed a couple of stock traders for Wayne Enterprise or whatever they were doing. A couple of young execs that were just a bunch of jerks, young money, right? But at the end of the day, it's I call out some of the times the fan, like you said, overall they embrace that movie, but that has political messaging too. But when they say what I like, it's definitely all right. And that's one of my little pseudo rhymes there. But so then to remove politics out of everything, but it's tough because it's a tricky thing. Hollywood is super duper liberal. I still consume their content. I don't agree with a majority of the things they say politically. I just need them to entertain me. And if their entertainment's crap, I move on to something else.
Too.
Yeah. I mean, Hanoi Jane, who said the Vietnam soldiers were murderers, right? All the way back in that time period. It's Hollywood has always been like that. I just think that because the way media occurs right now, there's more eyes on everything, including regular people in the world. So now it just seems like that message is amplified, but it's always been there. They've always been super liberal.
Hold on. I want to re-clarify what was said here.
Okay.
Who are the murderers now? The Vietnam soldiers?
According to Jane Fonda, back in the day.
Well, that could be incorrect because I thought we went to go fight them when that was not a war to go into. So who looked like the murderers in this statement? No offense, America, but we kind of did, which was a stupid move.
But my point is though, is that here's the challenge with that. Rank and file soldiers that were drafted and said you will go to jail unless you go shoot Viet Cong are being called murderers. You see what I'm saying? And soldiers came home and they were spit on, they were beaten in the streets, and for a war they didn't even sign up for. So to me, that's not acceptable. And just to put some more context on that, but the only reason why I brought that up wasn't to debate the merits of the Vietnam War. It was simply it was simply to say, like, they've been doing this forever, man. And it's just single boosted now because everything's on YouTube. There's more channels on TV nowadays. You can get stuff on demand. So if you didn't have your VCR set, you can get something on demand some other time. I watch a lot of YouTube. I have YouTube Red, because I download a lot of podcasts. I try to keep myself up to date on things. I stopped listening to the news overall because at the end of the day, like Alex Becker said, like when you change your president, your taxes go up or down 5%. My taxes went up under Trump because he took away my Schedule A deductions. So I had about $50K worth of write-offs I had to throw away because of him simplifying the tax deductions. But I know a lot of people that are worse off than me that got a lot of help from that. So I'm okay with it. But at the end of the day, when it's political messaging, the message needs to be clear, or not necessarily clear. It needs to be honest. Like political messaging we like is great. Political messages that maybe tackle some of my insecurities is unacceptable.
Okay, well, Geeky Candy is saying that now it's too heavy-handed. It's not natural. It's just in there, which I see in The Last Jedi. Last Jedi, there was a lot of it. My personal opinion.
Right.
I actually, just so you guys know, knowing what they were planning for the loose outline for The Rise of Skywalker and what JJ did, I think he basically went back to his old plan. I actually give Ryan a little bit more credit, because if they were just going to have Snoke and be in where the Emperor is the villain in the end of this saga instead of the Emperor, because I think the Emperor, was, from what I've heard, is the last minute thing they decided after the backlash, and to try to pull in a big bad. I would have been even more disappointed with this trilogy.
Right. No, and I hear you, and it sucks that they lost your business.
They did.
No, and I appreciate you standing with your principles.
And I know the reason I know no one boycotted it is you could see I tried to make some boycott vids and they got no traction at all, whereas they were really getting traction during Solo, so no one had any interest in boycotting this movie at all.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the only thing you could do is withhold your business, and if you're going to spend your time being angry, again, my premise is that fandoms are supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
I don't understand why anyone who is highly critical of the sequel trilogy just can't enjoy the original ones. The George Lucas ones. I don't understand that at all. They can just say, hey,
I will continue to watch 4, 5, and 6 before any other movie because I enjoy the shit out of those. So
and that's
much.
fine. And that's fine. But my point is that this rallying against Disney, you can do it. But like I said, I looked at the 5-year history of their stock price.
I think it's because they abused the OG characters to get their money back.
Sure, of course they did.
They didn't respect it, and that's basically what George said was going to happen after he did that interview. He's like, when he called them white slavers and just beat it.
Well, he sold it, man.
I know.
Lucasfilm had very little debt. Lucasfilm was a limited partnership, and he was the only partner, at least to my knowledge.
It was too risky for him to do the trilogy on his own.
Well, then he could have but he could have hired his own talent. He could have brought in Filoni. Who do you want?
Well,
I'll give you half the company. Take care of my kids when I'm dead. And he would have done that.
I mean, after the prequel backlash, and then after Indy 4 and Red Tails.
He got dunked on for Red Tails. I have to watch that.
I just bought it. I just bought it because I haven't watched it yet, actually.
Yeah, he appointed Kathleen Kennedy, and I don't understand that. I think Iger was better off choosing his own person.
He did the best he could under the circumstances for the Star Wars to continue, for his employees to have jobs without all the risk, and using the last years of his life being with his family, which he had some issues with the original trilogy, and then taking a step back. And then taking his
I don't blame him. He made a ton of money, but at the end of the day, actually, another little known fact is that Obama was changing the capital gains tax law, and if he didn't sell it by a certain time, he was going to have to kick out a $500 million capital gains tax. $500 million, dude. So at the end of the day, the liberals out in San Francisco and all that, they need their green too. At the end of the day. And everyone is able to spend other people's resources when it's time for that individual to pony up. Oh well, I have excuses.
I agree, Geeky Candy. I agree. My chats are some of the best on YouTube. She has spoken. Yeah, they're the most. I think they're the most interesting. I get a wide range of people. That was always my goal, and I'm happy Matt came back on too. But Matt's pretty chill tonight.
Yeah, my apologies. I feel like I'm getting paid by the word here, and so the more words I talk, the more money that goes into
I'm going to have the fire starter on. Like, could you come on my show once a week?
As long as it's late night, I just get out of work late. And I got to spend some time with the wife.
I'll just like start some fires. Give me some viewers.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, it is interesting though. Like it's like I just don't understand. If you're not going to boycott the film, what are you doing?
Well, that was
or buy shares of Lucasfilm and embarrass them at a shareholder meeting. Anyone can speak as far as I know, and you can say the more shares that the conglomerate buys, the more you can say, hey, I represent people that have $100 million worth of shares. That'll get people's attention because the shareholders are going to be like, why is this guy talking? And Iger, I thought we were good. This guy's got a different, or this lady, I don't be inclusive. At the end of the day, it's I just don't understand the point, and it is what it is.
Hey, Matt, you're getting a comment here. Jarbo is cool. He prays to the Snyder Cut. So you're all about the Snyder Cut too?
Yeah. I've been all about that now for a couple of years.
Yeah, I really want it to happen. I'm going back to doubting it again. I was really happy after Jason Momoa said that he's seen it, but then I don't know. I think also they're not wanting to do it because the Flash movie too is if they release it and then they do what they're going to do at Flashpoint and reverse a lot of what Snyder was doing anyway, it's just going to make people angry again.
Yeah, they're in a lose-lose with that, right?
Yeah, we don't know what the plan is. We don't know what they intend on doing. I mean, I'm not necessarily like the happiest with DC at the moment, only because they don't have any faith in their own properties.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's evidenced by the fact that everything keeps changing.
Yeah, they're too reactionary to the fans.
No, it's not. It's like when you look at Batman v Superman, they really screwed the pooch by cutting out that half hour. By ordering the half hour to be cut out, it killed exposition. Now, and that's why fans want the Snyder Cut of Justice League, because what we got was 80 pages of Joss Whedon. and it wasn't. It was so totally different across the board. It just confused people. Yeah.
I think it was just it was one of those trendy things to do is hate on that movie too. It was not as bad as people say. The only thing that was overly bad to me was the Doomsday scene. Like it was rushed and I didn't feel the impact as much as I think we should have with Doomsday.
Yeah.
But I think that was suited.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I would like to see the Snyder Cut. I heard some details on a video a little recently about some of the stuff Snyder wanted to put in. I'm like, well, fuck, when is it going to be leaked? Because this sounds a whole lot better than what I saw in theaters. Holy shit. Like, if there's supposed to be some more stuff into this film, I want to see that. Like, what the differences were and all that. Because I mean, if the Snyder Cut is supposed to make Justice League a little better than what we got, then I'll take the Snyder Cut myself. Why not? That'll give me something to watch for in the next few years.
They totally disrespected Snyder after he did exactly what they wanted.
I can't believe that. Brothers. Well, me and my brother both saw Justice League when that came out in theater. I don't remember it was fun, but wait, what did we? No, we saw Batman versus Superman, didn't we? No?
They should have just stuck to their guns, took the criticism, and made Justice League 2.
I actually like Batman versus Superman, the extended version.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I like Ben Affleck as Batman. That dude is ripped, man. He's got a strong. I heard Twilight guy. He can't bulk up. They got to get him. They got to get him some carbs or something, man, or get him a fat injection or a muscle injection. They got to do something. I heard
he's a big man. He got to bulk up. I mean,
yeah, Ben Affleck looked good, man. When he's working out, I'm like, damn. That's some abs, dude, and Momoa's got some great abs too.
You kind of see the before and after. He looked like he was ready for the role in Batman v Superman, and then the backlash hit, and then they did Justice League right after. He's like, he kind of phoned it in. And
and maybe like I said, I thought he was a good Batman.
Broken. Yeah, his spirit was.
Hale didn't want to do it anymore. Okay, what else do we get?
You know why? Because people turned on him for Daredevil too, so he really wanted.
I liked Daredevil. I know.
Thank you.
I know it gets
pretty good, and I like
Affleck. You the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
Well, I think he took it real personally because this was his chance, and he's a big. I heard he's like from Kevin Smith. He's a huge Batman fan, Ben Affleck. He has.
I never knew that. I just thought,
So I think it crushed his spirits when people really turned against him and Batman v Superman, and then
people didn't turn against Affleck. Affleck was at the backlash to Affleck came out in 2013 when they cast it, right? Otherwise, it was fine. It was like, oh, okay. People sound like, oh shit, he was good.
I thought he did a great job. He surprised me. I figured he would play a good role as Bruce Wayne. He had that in his own way in his other films, but Batman, it's a whole nother persona. But he channeled that too. I mean,
he did a good job.
Right now, Robert Pattinson has a lot of shoes to fill in this. This is a big role you can't screw up on.
I don't think he did. I just think that there was a lot of backlash, and what can you do? Sometimes fans get in their own way. What can I say?
Well, no, because there's a lot you guys are kind of overlooking on the situation. So what happened? I'll summarize it to the best of my ability. The week after Batman v Superman came out, Warner Brothers had a shifting of power. They removed Zack Snyder, brought in Jeff Johns, and I think John Berg. I had Affleck bumped up to executive producer to oversee the edit of Justice League. Mm-hmm. Then, when they went back and they were going to do the reshoots, they waited until like a few months before the movie came out. They fucking shot Justice League in 2016. So a whole year had passed, and Affleck's marriage had fallen apart, and he turned back to alcohol. So that's why if you go and you look at Affleck in Justice League, he's like puffy because he was like on the wagon or off the wagon, right? So there's like a lot there. So and also they had Joss Whedon rewrite all of like the interpersonal scenes. So whatever they had shot, it was totally different. And I don't think anyone really liked the script because it wasn't what Snyder had put together, why they're so supportive. It was just like this, let's make it Avengers, but DC.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you get what you pay for when you bring in Joss Whedon, right? Didn't he do 2 Avenger films? Is that correct? He did a...
Oh, I'm getting some tweets right now.
Uh-oh. Am I in trouble?
It says you guys are offensive and disgusting to me and
Oh.
you. Not Jarbo or I don't know what your hell you're talking about.
Who said that?
Someone
Wait.
on Twitter.
Who are they talking about?
Not you, Jedi. Not you and Jarbo are fine. Me and Firewall. I don't. Maybe because at the beginning we were saying, what did you actually do? I think that's what they're offended.
I think that's still a reasonable question.
Okay, Charles is saying you're right, Matt. They undercut Snyder. He had full control over DC properties, and Jeff Johns backstabbed him on Justice League, and then after he got promoted. That's his take.
Yeah,
And if this didn't happen, we would have gotten a lot more film from this Justice League because Snyder had a lot planned for this film. From what I've seen his tweets, he was trying to say here, and I'm surprised to hear that. And it sucks because it would have been terrific for what it is, but heck, I want a new Green Lantern, but are we going to get one pretty time soon? Probably not. At least get a good TV show going.
Yeah, no, right.
Jeez.
But the problem is, I think with DC films, maybe Marvel just set the bar too high. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well,
but
it's looking up. Once you get The Rock and Momoa in the same film, and then you try, maybe they're going to call it Justice League of America now or something like that, or whatever they're going to do to rebrand it, because there's all different versions in the comics. However they want to do it, once they get those two together, and I wish Cavill too. I really wish the only thing that could save Cavill as Superman is The Witcher's popularity. I'm hoping they'll reconsider it, but I really think they just don't want him. They want a fresh Superman.
Yeah, but
you
keep recasting everyone, man.
Yeah.
Marvel Cinematic Universe
had
two recasting, the Hulk and War Machine.
If they recast Cavill now, it's a big mistake. I understand why you might not include Ben, even though I want that. And I think with the Flashpoint, the smart thing what could possibly happen, but it still might not likely happen, is bring Ben Affleck back one more time before you do Flashpoint, because they're still doing that storyline. But if it's going to be bad if they don't do Cavill and Affleck. I don't know. I think
Affleck's out. I mean, he's done.
I think they should keep Cavill.
Is he? I thought there was talks of him doing another Man of Steel.
Well, he's under. No, Affleck. We're talking about.
I don't think Cavill's done yet. They still have him under contract somehow, don't they?
Yeah, but they can release him from that, and they'll just pay him what they'll have to pay him out, but so be it.
I hope not. I like him as Superman. He's great.
Yeah, I think he's a good Superman, but I mean, what are you going to do? Man of Steel, I thought was a decent film. I liked it.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
I didn't see Justice League. I'm going to be honest. I did like Batman vs. Superman, the extended version. And I watched it again on a flight when we were flying.
There's definitely problems with Justice League.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes fans will get what they want and they're still dissatisfied. So maybe they don't even know what they want. Think of it this way. Rise of Skywalker had a ton of fan service in it. In my opinion, it's a better film than The Last Jedi.
Okay.
I'll agree with you there. I'll agree with you. You made some good points there. Yeah.
But that'll never be validated in the box office, unfortunately. Right? So you get what you want and then you don't monetize anyways. Then what are we doing catering to you?
I got a question though that I want answered. I don't think I've ever found an answer to this. In episode 9, did they ask Harrison Ford to come back in, or did they CGI him in that movie?
I thought he was him. I thought he was live acting.
That was really him? They asked him to come in?
Yeah. So what happened with that was JJ called Harrison, asked Harrison if he would be interested in coming back. They figured out how they were going to do it. And then they flew him discreetly from LA to London in like an unmarked jet. And they took him to set where they smuggled him. They smuggled him in. They smuggled him in, and they smuggled him on set. And there was like 5 people who knew about it, right? Other than that, there was like, no one else, none of the cast, no one knew. They kept it very, very, very hush hush.
Unbelievable. I'm so happy to hear that. Now I want to buy this film because they brought Harrison in there. God, he's the reason I like Star Wars anyway. Sorry. He's
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. He's my hero, so that's why.
Yeah.
I think that's why he did it, so he could get his Indiana Jones 5 finally. He really wants Indiana Jones 5 to happen.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm not ready to say goodbye to that yet.
Yeah, I think while he's still, because he's in his 70s now, right?
Duh, but he looked good though.
Yeah, he looks good. Don't get me wrong, but he's getting
looks a
old,
lot
man.
better.
Yeah, he's getting old. He's not going to be around forever.
Right.
No.
You know, unfortunately, we lost Carrie Fisher way before her time. That broke my heart.
But wasn't she a lot older than him though? I mean, how old was she? I don't
No,
know.
stop it. He's 78.
Really?
He's still got good abs, yo. I like abs.
They need to do Indy soon.
Yeah, they better be
They
filming that.
keep
Then
pushing it back though. We should have gotten it like already, but they push it back to like 2020, 2021. And I'm like, I agree. Just like you guys need to get that set in. People want that. Stop making us wait.
Well, they got a new writer, and I'm not a big fan of who the writer is.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Because
Geeky Candy's heading out. Thank you, Geeky Candy.
78. Holy crap.
Okay, I'm going to end the stream soon too. What are your thoughts on, before we go? Are you more excited about the Marvel Phase 4 or the upcoming DC? For me personally, I'm more excited for DC. There's a few bright spots in the MCU I'm still looking forward to, like Shang-Chi. I was looking forward to Doctor Strange too. I'm not sure now. But what are you more excited about to see? Start with you, Firewater.
I'm a Marvel guy. I mean, Joker was phenomenal. Oh, and I'm curious to see what Robert Pattinson can do with Batman. I really am. But Marvel, a Black Widow movie looks good. I'm excited for Shang-Chi because I'm a huge fan of Eastern Style martial arts. I love.
Okay.
I can watch that stuff all day and watch people flip around and do all that. That'd be great.
Did you ever see Kim's Convenience?
I have not.
It's on Netflix. The actor that's Shang-Chi, he has a big role. It's like a sitcom, but that's why I'm also rooting for the actor because I like him.
Right.
So if you ever want like a bingeable sitcom, go watch Kim's Convenience on Netflix. It's fun.
Sure, sounds good.
It's about a Korean family owning a grocery store.
And the challenges and drama that come around with it, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. But that I'm also rooting for the actor.
Yeah, sure. I'm not sure who's starring in it, but I wish them the best and I hope it's good. But I mean, the new Marvel phase should be solid. I don't really see anything crazy in it that would be like I don't know about that, but I'm excited. We should see.
I love Marvel, but I'm all excited about the DC just because there's interesting new characters, but not as many as I follow in Marvel, where we're getting the main characters finally representing in the DC. And Wonder Woman 84 looks great. Batman, I'm always there for Batman. I don't care how many times they reboot Batman. I want to see it. Maybe that makes me bad. Maybe we got the best of the past. I think I'm keeping out hopes that this might be the best trilogy because I really like Matt Reeves. I was a little bit let down by the finale of the Dark Knight trilogy. Dark Knight Rises, I didn't like that film at all.
What am I excited for? I have not lost hope from. I was very thrilled how Endgame is, but I don't think I saw an ending to that. And I mean, before they announced Endgame and all that, I left it guessing like they were going to do Doctor Strange 2, another Black Panther. Who else? And then he talked about some of the new things that were coming up, like another new film with I can't remember the names of them, but we're getting the Eternals this year or something like that from I think I'm hearing right. So I think they're going another big road with that, so that's good. We're getting something new with Marvel again. And DC, oh God, I'm excited for DC now too. I loved Aquaman and I loved Wonder Woman, what they did. So, the solo films are working out for these characters because you're seeing more of their story. Yeah. And I love that.
I got a beef with Christy now. I said just the last one, Christy. And you got a beef with me, Christy? You got to come on later later this week and we'll hash it out. So, all right, I think that's a good time to end it soon. Firestarter, you can always host my show. I sit back. I'll just sit back and get some popcorn and take it easy. And let's give props to Jedi Wanderer for finally coming on the show and representing. He was fair and balanced with his points. He gave a good conversation, and you have a channel you want to pimp out, Jedi Wanderer, go ahead, right ahead.
I don't know how to do that, but hey, I'll tell you that. Anyone in chat, if you guys want me to live stream with you, anyone, please let me know. You have me on Twitter. Rosetta does it already, but Max, you have it. So, ask Max, ask Rosetta what it is. They have my Twitter. But yeah, if you guys want to do live stream with me, I love to talk about movies and geek stuff. So
yeah, and reach out to Lunga, Jedi Wanderer. He likes to have Menace.
I want to, but he's got to invite me. He doesn't use stream live though. He uses something else.
Did you talk to him on Twitter?
He mentioned it when he was doing one of his gaming sessions.
Yeah, talk to him on Twitter. Say I'd like to come on, give the Menace man point of view or whatever you want to represent.
Hey, I wouldn't mind. I'll ask him.
Okay.
If he has the time, though, he has to have the time for me, so I have to respect that. But thank you, Max, for having me on. I would love to do it some more. And please, can I have a little entourage? Can I get an introduction of Snowdub? I'm a big, huge fan of him.
Oh, Snowdub. He's busy tonight. He's
next time on another later stream, can you set something up? Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I'll work that out. Snowdub, going. He went to a game tonight with his son, I think.
Well, that's cool.
Well, that's pretty important, yeah.
Yeah. So he's putting family first.
Hey, no problem. But yeah, just thank you for having me.
All right. Well, Christy, I need to have Christy on more often. So.
Hey, Christy's a sweetheart.
Yeah. So Christy, I definitely want you involved with that stream club, and I still don't know what the hell to call it. I'm still struggling over it. But Lunga's going to do that this Saturday night, and I'm going to be out of town. So
yeah, I don't know. This Saturday, I have plans with my family. I'm actually going to see my nieces and nephews, so I'm very excited about that.
Well, that's cool.
But I guess I'll give some closing remarks. I know you got a dip. Yeah, like I said, I'd like to think I present things reasonably. On Twitter, it is different, and maybe I need to be a little bit more consistent with that. And that's fair criticism if anyone has that. But I'm more than willing to have a discussion about fandom with anyone, virtually anytime, anywhere, as long as I'm not working or spend time with my wife. I'm more than willing to have a conversation with anybody. And I have to be honest, the people I have had conversation with, like I said, it seems like once you illuminate certain things to them, I think it does make a difference. And I'm not trying to get people in gotcha moments and whatnot. That's not the intent. Right. But I if somebody is not coming correct, I will call them on that. Mm-hmm. And I would argue to be prepared. I'm looking forward to any conversations and seeing if anything I can learn. Because I'm always trying to adapt and grow as a human.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's I'm at Firewater Effects on Twitter. You want to give me a follow? So I know some people.
You want the Firestarter to come back on the show.
I did rename the Firestarter.
You say, God, bring on the Firestarter. Bring the heat.
There you go, baby. Yeah, like I said, I'm a little more. I'm low energy Firestarter tonight. I'm like I'm not a flamethrower. I'm a book of matches. Lunga, get the hell out of here.
You dropped a lot of matches.
Yeah, I did. A little bit. But like I said, I'm happy to debate the merits of the Fandom Menace. And sort of some of the irrational beliefs as the group that they hold, as a group overall. Of course, there's individual nuance, and I'm happy to address that as well.
Oh, I gotta end it because my dog's getting into something.
Yeah,
that was a great closing comments. Thanks everyone for watching, and I gotta go take care of my dog that's misbehaving.
Everyone have a great evening. Thank you for coming.